All right. We rolling. Yup.
We rolling.
First of all,
There we go.
a little fuzz,
Perrier.
little fizz going.
Cheers.
Toast, little cheers. I'm going with the, what is this? Jasmine tea, ginger ale.
That's good. I have lemon
it's just a
Perrier.
little lemon Perrier. Well, that's, you know what I mean? You kind of fly like that. So, Cherri, your path into journalism was not the traditional path, right? So what'd you do first?
I was a lawyer first. I went to Howard Law School, graduated, got a job at a law firm in Atlanta, Georgia. I did intellectual property law where I work with inventors and like artists and authors, and I would write nasty grams if you were using their pictures of their work, and I started doing internet stuff like internet domain names. So if you had like Travelocity was a client, so like if you would say Travelocity or something, I would send you a nasty gram. I was very good at nasty grams.
What made you decide to transition into journalism then?
I always wanted to be one. I produced my first show when I was 13. I was in middle school. I have big hair, big eyes.
Ain't nothing changed.
And I was just super skinny, and I was still talking and asking questions. So ain't nothing changed in all those years.
So you made your transition to journalism. But you said you always wanted to do it. So why did you go to school for law?
Man, because college was hard.
It was harder to be a lawyer than a journalist.
Yeah, but I was broke. You gotta understand. I had a scholarship I went to Boston University, had a scholarship. But I mean, like financially, I had limited help. My mom was a single mother of 3 kids. She was good till my brother went to college, and he needed some help, and I needed help, and she would choose. And so I worked 3 jobs in college. I cleaned houses on the weekends. I worked in the copy center at Hale and Dorr, a big law firm in Boston, overnights, and then I got a job selling fur coats in the evenings. It sounds crazy, but it's true. It's true.
Coats.
Yes, I still got a sheared beaver cashmere coat that I got for a bonus. Yes, but I'll tell you something it did. I got connected to some of the most powerful people in the city. The mayor's wife was a client. Celtics coach at the time, his wife was a client. Conan O'Brien's mom was one of my clients.
Yeah.
And you got to see how other folks live. Go up on Beacon Hill, see these beautiful homes. So that made me realize, like, there's money to be made out here. And I was like, $16,000, $20,000 to be a journalist. Absolutely not. And I found out you could make $100,000 plus being a lawyer. So I went to law school.
But then it was like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah.
Got to follow my heart.
I hated it.
Hated it?
I was not using my best talents. And something about turning 30, you be like, you know what? I'm about to jump. I'm gonna go for what I really wanna do. So then I decided to do it. My first job was working for a Turkish news station based in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Turkish?
Yeah.
How did you even get plugged in? Like, you don't speak
the
language, right?
No, absolutely
not. So it was an English-speaking Turkish station?
Yeah, they had a cable channel called Ebru, and it was broadcast to the Middle East and to Canada. And I was their Philadelphia correspondent. You had to be fully covered, though. Like, you could not wear, like, they would be like, if I wore something, I look
like too much.
Pull it all the way up. Excuse me, I hit the mic, but you had to put it turtlenecks, long sleeves, pants all the time. I was interning at NBC 10 at the same time when I was working at the Turkish news. And then I got the job at KYW, working in radio. But yeah, I mean, I never thought I would be in radio. Like, I didn't want to be in radio.
And it was at a time when radio was kind of, like, the internet was starting to pop, right?
Yeah.
So radio was kind of, you almost thought it might go the way of the newspaper.
I thought it was going to die. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Honestly, I had never heard of KY, like, legit, I had never heard of KYW.
How long
I'm not
had you
from
been
Philly.
here?
I've been here for like a couple of years, 2.5 years. And when I started at KYW, I'd never heard of it. I didn't listen to it. But when I had the interview, I was like, well, what channel is that? I didn't
act
even,
like I know.
Never gone to AM. I was like, so I went on. And I was like, I guess I could do this. But then I really started, like, I fell in love with radio.
So you did a lot of community stuff while you was at KYW, right? Was that like you chose that lane, or did they give you that lane and you just took advantage of it?
Well, because I went to Howard, I'm blackity black. And I also love civil rights. I'm a history nerd. I love Black history. So, you know, they had a community affairs reporter, but she passed away. And so there was just this gap in coverage. I mean, she literally passed away 6 months after I started. And so there were so many stories that just were not getting covered. There weren't that many Black reporters. And so I just kind of fell into a space where there was this gap, and I just filled it. And then I just kind of made it my own and started doing legal stuff. And there was a voter ID law that passed. So I was like, what? I had been registering people to vote since I was 16. You know, I was big into voting rights. And so stuff just kind of like worked out.
So it kind of like hit a passion spot for you and in 2 lanes.
It did. Black history, you know, law, and just human interest. And I love all communities. So it wasn't just Black people. It was like the Hispanic community, the Asian community, any community where some real stuff happened.
Correct.
And it was civil rights based. I popped right over there. And they was like, oh, you here? I was like, yeah, what's up? And they were like, okay. Pull out the mic out my purse. Everybody know me.
Yeah.
I be out there with my purse, and then I just bust the mic out, and they be like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm recording. Go right in."
Like radio is, I won't say it's way easier to do, but it's easier to get people to talk to you than it is with a camera in their face.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so I always was like, yo, like you can get a really good stories with radio because you don't need no pictures.
You don't, and people feel less. People used to be like, oh my God, I pulled the mic out. They'd be like, I'm not ready. I'm like, boo.
It's radio.
It's radio. Nobody care about your hair. You know what I mean?
Ahead.
Just talk to me.
Just keep going.
And they'd be like, oh, okay, well then, you know, they'll talk to you in their robe. They don't care. And so you get some, I mean, it's just so easy. I just love radio. It's so easy. Yeah. And just hearing somebody's voice.
And you have a great radio voice.
Oh.
You really do. Like, it's refreshing.
Thank you, bro.
It's like, like when I turned on HYY and I heard you, I was like, holy smokes. Like, I love hearing Cherri Gregg on HYY. Like, I don't even know what story she's talking about. I'm just going to sit here and listen. Yeah. It's just like, because you got like this, it's comforting yet assertive. You know what I mean? And confident. Like, I know what I'm talking about, and I'm confident in what I'm talking about, and you need to hear this, but, you know, I'm not going to really hurt you. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to really hurt you.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Yeah, like, unless I have to. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that kind of almost like.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is either, right? That's like the cool auntie, right? Yeah. Like, I go hang out with my auntie. Like, she gonna let us do all kinds of stuff, but if she have to, she'll smack us.
Yeah.
Right?
And I was told at WHYY I'm a voice professional. I was like, I took a scarf and just wrapped it. I was like, I'm a voice professional. But I never thought of myself, I just thought of myself as a journalist. Yes. And radio was just my medium because I did TV too. So I never really thought of myself, of my voice as something separate, but apparently it's got its own little, its own parking space now.
Facts.
Like what? But people like it. They've sent me notes saying, I love your voice. And I'm like, you know, now I'll be drinking tea.
Look at you.
I got a whole 2 bags of like cough drops now. But no, I like, you know, and I'm a talker. I mean, the fact that I get paid to talk, come on now. You get paid to be you.
That's
Look
what I'm
at
saying.
you. You got podcasts.
Like, could it get any better?
Nothing better than that. I feel like that's why I used to work so hard, because it was like I wasn't working. It's like you're not working. Correct. It's like you're doing what your passion and what you're really good at. And I feel like if you can work like that, you're not working.
And that's it.
They say if you do what you love, you're never working a day in your life or whatever. It's like, it was fun. It was just my life. I used to see you out every once in a while. We run into each other on the street.
Yeah.
You was
But I
always
was working.
Cool. Yeah. You was always cool though.
And same, you was as well. You was as well. You know, the streets. I love being out in the street though.
Yeah. I do miss it.
That's what I miss. I miss it every day.
I miss just seeing the people all the time and just, you know, it was like I realized how much I got from being in the community and seeing people. And I'm a hugger, so I used to. And I'm tall, so you know you get the people right in the armpit.
Yeah. You just smothering it with love.
I just be like, oh, what's up, what's up, what's up? So like I do miss my folk, and like Philly, like it's a hardcore city. You know, it's hard to get people to like embrace you, but once they do, the love is so real, and I just love. Thorough. And it's like they'll tell you this person lying, yo, don't go down there.
Yeah.
You know,
like, don't talk to them. They don't know
talk
what
to them. They foul, yo.
Yeah.
Be mindful.
Right.
Shawty not on the up and up. I be like, yo, thank y'all, man. They look out for you.
They do.
And I miss seeing like, and just being in the thick of it. Like it's something to be in that crowd when look, real stuff is happening.
Look, it's and like for me when I went in the building, the first even till today. So I've been in the building for a year, but like the first couple months was so tough. Like I had to refrain when something would come over the scanner
to not get up and go out there.
What do you mean you don't got no crew to go get it? I'll go get it. Like I had to refrain from saying,
Mike,
that ain't your job anymore. Dude, they took my camera from me, Cherri.
Oh Lord, you get to go get another one.
I had to get my own.
He's like, don't worry, I'll get another one.
Yeah, they took my camera from me. I'm like, yo, y'all taking my camera? Like, yeah, Mike, we gotta get that gear to somebody else.
Damn.
Like, so what am I supposed to do?
Come in the building, do building stuff. Do stuff in the building.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing here? And it's great because you're right, but like when you're in it, it's so much different when you're like in the moment, right? You getting all your senses are going. You know what I'm saying?
It's adrenaline pumping.
Everything.
I mean, I remember covering the unrest, you know, 2020. Came home, slipped, put on my boots. I had an outfit all ready. Equipment full ready, and I just went into the madness.
And you don't even think about it,
and was there
right?
till 2 a.m.
And that's the crazy part.
Didn't even think about it.
It's crazy how we would jump right into the chaos and have this, you know, this fake shield that we think we have because we're journalists.
But I will tell you this, I always felt covered. Like, I was telling a friend today in the newsroom, like, I really do believe God has covered me.
I gotta say, by what, right? It's just instinct, right? Because you really are vulnerable, right? And the reality of it, right? If you think about it, like, so I'm out here, if I'm got a camera on my shoulder, not only am I vulnerable, right? I can't even see out. My peripheral's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking through a 4-inch viewfinder or a 2-inch viewfinder, like, I'm vulnerable out here.
But Mike, we can't think like that.
I didn't think like that, but that's what bugs me out is the fact that we never did, right? You would just go out there and just do it without a thought, without a care. You knew if something didn't feel comfortable or feel right, you knew when to move, right? But you always ran towards whatever it was.
I was never
the action.
Like, I'm gonna get the story. Like, I would never come back without a story.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I always get the story. Like, that was one of the things that was like a badge of honor during my career. Like, I come back with the story. I'm not afraid of nobody. I remember, like, there was like a fire in Camden. I sweated through my whole outfit. This fireman came up to me. He gave me a popsicle. He was like, "You look hot." But not in a good way, sis. Like you look like you need to cool off. Like for real, I sweated through my hair was done, but it was not done when it's over. But I stayed out there
and you got the
in
story.
That heat, and I got the story, and I interviewed the people, and I remember, like, I just never thought, like, and I came back, you know, or whatever, and my bosses, they were like, "Oh my God, go on."
I've been there.
I didn't care. Soot.
Yes.
Did not care.
There. You just like, yo, this is what it takes to get the story.
Yeah.
You know, and so you just suck it up. You might complain in the moment. Like,
Feet
God,
hurt.
it's hot out here. My feet hurt. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I gotta go to the bathroom.
I love
like,
it.
All of that. But trading it.
Never.
When it really hit me, like, damn, Mike, you in the building for real, is when we had the fire here in Fairmont.
Oh, yeah.
And all those kids passed and all that. And I'm like, yo, like, this is gonna be one of the biggest stories of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here watching it on TV.
Like everybody else.
Like a sucker. It's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like a sucker. Like, are you serious, Mike? All this is going down and you in the building?
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't a breaking news reporter towards the end of my reporting career, but I would have been the day two. Go out there. How y'all feeling about this?
Correct.
I would have been I'd have been watching it on the day of, and then the day two would have been out there.
But you still going out because like the first night of the unrest last summer, I was up in the Lehigh Valley. I didn't even know what was going on. And one of my buddies texted me. It was like, yo, you downtown right now? I was like, nah, man. I'm like an hour and a half away from the city. He says, yo, the city's on fire. Like, how you ain't working? I said, what are you talking about? I had no clue. I get a text from the station like, yo, can you come in tomorrow? And this was like a Sunday or it was an off day, whatever day it was. Can you come in tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I'll come in for a good day if y'all need me. Like, what's going on? Like, yo, the whole city's on fire. Like, what do you mean what's going on?
Like, have you not seen it?
Had no clue, Cherri.
Well, I knew when they called me on my day off that I was like, y'all realize this is my day off.
That's what it was, right?
Well, I knew when they called me on my day off, it was real.
And I knew when they called me because I don't respond. Like, I'm the last call. Like, if they're calling Mike, it must really be bad out there. Like, we ain't got no place else to turn.
But aren't you glad you went?
Oh, of course.
I mean, that was history.
Yes.
I feel like I'm so glad I was there.
Yes, of course.
And you being a black man, you know, and very rarely do I say my race comes in handy, but I was glad that as a black person,
for real,
and a black journalist, that I could witness what was happening for us because of this. Like, rarely I even say that.
I know.
That was an occasion where I was like, I was glad I worked that day.
And even the next day when like 52nd Street,
West Philly,
they was bugging out. I came in, they was like, yo, Mike, 52nd Street, they're looting, it's on fire, da 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 da. So who's out there? Nobody. So what do you mean there's nobody there? They said no crews going out there. We don't want no crews to go out there. I said, but that's what the news is.
Yeah, you had to go.
Like, yeah, but we know they said don't send anybody out there. I was like, all right. Got in the car, drove right to 52nd Street. It's like, I gotta see this. Like, if it's as bad as y'all saying it is, I gotta see it. I drove through, parked the car on like 53rd, hopped out, walked back, my cell phone.
It was crazy too, yeah.
The cops was like, you going out to 52nd Street? I said, yeah. It was like, be careful. Like, what?
Just want you to know, they wildin'.
But that being said, as a journalist, I walked up and down and took pictures. I got pictures, I sent the pictures back. Mike, how'd you get pictures of this pickup truck? I just drove over and got it.
Yeah.
You gotta be in it.
You gotta be in it.
You gotta be in it.
I don't know, I've never been afraid. You know, I've never been afraid. I don't know. Like, I just feel like I just felt covered.
Yeah.
Like, I follow my instincts. I was talking to some colleagues today when that voice says, get out. If you see me leave, Mike.
It's time to go.
Get out.
You gotta know when.
And I know when to go.
Yes.
And I feel like I follow my gut when it's time to transition or do something different or move or shift, pivot. Like, I just follow the vision. I try my best not to be afraid.
Yeah. Well, that's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you gotta get the story.
You gotta get the story.
And you hope that your honesty and the way that you carry yourself and the way that you present yourself to the people, that they respect what you're doing. And you're always gonna get some jerk, right? Every now and again. But you hope that you're not doing things in a way that people are offended by what you're doing, so they're not offended by you being in the space.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the cover that I unconsciously would carry with me when I was out there.
Yeah. It's all about respect. It's all about people giving folk dignity. I've fixed people's outfit, told them that hat might not look the best on television. Maybe they should take their shades off. You know, I look out for folk. I've always been that way.
It's easy.
Yeah, I treat people like I would want somebody to treat my family members. And that's how I operate.
So what's next for you now, man? Like, you doing HYY? Like, what is this HYY thing? Like, what is this public radio vibe? Like, you the new black public radio chick?
Well, I like public radio, you know?
I like public radio too.
I mean, public radio, the reason why I switched over is because, like, first of all, who doesn't like being smart
Right.
and intelligent? You listen to public radio,
You get smart.
You gonna have a conversation with people, and you gonna know stuff. Like if you want to know about Ukraine, spend a couple hours listening to
and
public radio.
And you're gonna get all the answers you need.
Break it down. Break it down.
You'll look smart to people when you talk.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know what you're talking about.
And they cover a lot of stories about black people. Like
Yes.
folks be acting like, and about not just black people, about Asian people, about Latinos,
Yes.
about white folks, about women, about people from other countries. And I just love that you just have this wealth of knowledge. And I say you're a cool nerd.
I agree.
Like, and to me, like, I'm grown. I got retirements. I got property. You got stuff you care about.
Yes.
And I listen to public radio. And I don't want it to be a minute. I want it to be 10 minutes.
I'm in there. I've had plenty of driveway moments.
Yes. It's like certain shows that I really liked on NPR. But all things considered, that's the show I'm a host during, the local host during, and Here and Now. Melissa Harris Perry has her show now, The Takeaway, which is a really good show. And I get to be myself. They told me.
That's the best part.
They said, Cherri, be you. So I be playing some Juicy. I had a little...
Look,
a little Tupac Hail Mary underneath
the public radio music breaks, like the intermissions, like going from show to show. I'll be like, yo, like, what are they playing? Like, who's picking this music? Because I Shazammed a lot of music in between shows.
Yeah.
It got turned on to artists, and I was like, oh, like I found this on public radio.
We take our break. We have our licenses, so we're able to play a lot of different music. And I mean, like, if you listen to the way NPR does it, I mean, especially some of the more modern new shows, they be rocking.
Yeah.
They be rocking on the breaks.
So I'm there.
Thank y'all.
All day on the week. I used to be there during the week when I was in the car.
Yeah, and they got the Reveal show, which is in the evening, and then This American Life, which I really like.
Always like This American Life.
It's so good.
It's great storytelling. And it actually impacts my storytelling, right?
Yeah.
I listen to NPR to make me a better storyteller.
Yeah. Y'all see, you need to do a whole situation.
I do, like, because I'm always like,
Black folks should listen to NPR. First of all, they're more diverse than you might think. Like, and I mean, if I listened to it, there was a lot of black shows, they had
Latino
Shaquille O'Neal
show,
on today talking about the Queen of Basketball, the documentary that's nominated for an Oscar. I mean, that was on a show and then they talked about Brittany Griner the same day.
This is what I'm saying.
So all of this is on.
Yeah, you get all kinds of enlightenment.
Yeah, and Shaq got 10 minutes.
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
That's
you can't watch 10 minutes?
You ain't get 10 minutes nowhere.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's great, and it's just well produced, and it's intelligent, and I'm a nerd. I'm a low key nerd. So there you go.
Right. So there you go. In some way, shape, or form.
So, and plus, I feel like I heard some advice about career. Like, you have to pivot in order to stay fresh and to stay relevant. If you stay in one position too long, you get stale.
That's right.
And my mom always says to me, she said, Cherri, as soon as people think they know you, switch it up.
Give them something else. That's right.
So that's what I did. As soon as everybody knew, they thought they could put me in a box and, oh, we know what Cherri's gonna do or what we can give to her or whatever. No. I switched it.
Catch me, if you can.
Bam!
Cherri, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Appreciate you letting me come back with you.